You're now tuned in to the Dollars Not Cents radio show with your hosts, Anthony, Stephen, and Monica. The show that educates you about money and exposes the nonsense that we've been taught about money with a current news view. Get your pen and paper ready. Let's get started.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning?
Good morning.
Oh, you guys sound like you need a coffee break.
Good morning.
Good morning. That's what I'm talking about. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Fantastic?
Wonderful.
Okay then. Stephen, how are you this morning, sir?
Wonderful.
Wonderful, huh?
Ooh.
Oh, okay. And when did that happen?
And do they have a shot for that?
I had it last night, but anyway.
TMI.
Boy, fast. I'm sorry.
Well, don't tell too much about yourself now.
No.
Wow. Well, it's great to be on the show this morning, and we, of course, always enjoy being on the show. And today, like no other, we are just always excited about talking about money and talking about, some of the nonsense that we've been taught about money and breaking those barriers. A lot of times, people want to get into a small business, but they have no idea how to start a small business. They have no idea how to run a small business. And of course, one of the things that we try to do is educate everybody on this show about how you run a small business and how you get into business. And today, like no other, we are just so excited. So I want to say good morning to the crew. Good morning to Judith L. Bentley. Say hello.
Good morning.
See, I know they turned up the mic somewhere. So, Judith, how are you this morning?
I am doing well, actually. I'm doing very, very well.
Fantastic. What you been up to this morning? How was your traveling this morning?
It was a little less hairy than it was yesterday, but still, I tell you, I have to find an alternate route for that little area right over 485.
Man.
Oh my goodness, everybody converges. Everybody's trying to get into.
Just get a monster truck and just drive over.
I was about to say, what happened to your hovercraft?
Thank you, something.
It's in the shop. It's in the shop.
It's in the shop.
Yeah.
Wow. And also we got Monica. Monica, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. How was your trip? Did you cut off anybody this morning? You try not to.
I didn't mean to.
Not by purpose, right?
I'm telling you, if I just had like a sweeper in front of my car hooked onto the front of it, a lot of people would have slid over into the ditch real quick.
Wow.
I'm just saying, move out my way. If the speed limit's 45 and you going 30 and I'm going 25, we have problems.
Wow, that's incredible.
That math doesn't add up, right?
Well, it's because you got that little car, that sporty car.
No.
Is that the problem?
No. When you got an 18-wheeler pulling out in front of me, okay, it's a Tahoe, but I'm just saying. You pull out, you're already taking up more space. Your tires are bigger, so you should be reaching more, land than I am. So I need you to pick up the speed.
Oh my goodness! Wow!
I got road rage.
Some people they don't need to get a license to.
No, I don't speed. I'm just saying go to speed limit. If I'm not going to speed limit, I have problems.
Okay.
I'm being limited.
But didn't you know speed?
How you really feel?
I'm just saying, there's a limitation here. I'm being held back. It's problems.
And this morning, we actually have a special guest with us. Now, I'm going to formally introduce you in a minute, but I just want to... This is Lisa Santiago. I like saying that name, Santiago.
I like to say that name, too. Lisa Santiago. Thank you for having me.
Oh, awesome. Yes. Welcome. And, of course, we're going to have you on the show where we're talking about numbers today, success in numbers. And, it's really, really powerful that folks know their numbers and, of course, that they understand about the numbers, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Amen.
Lisa, how was your trip in?
Oh, mine was seamless. I always leave myself enough time, and I do the back roads, so I'm all by myself.
I left 10 minutes early, still got 10 minutes late.
I'm so sorry.
And I took the back rows.
Oh,
My back rows are
what kind of car do you drive,
I
Lisa?
am driving an Altima.
Okay, so you're safe. Safe driver right there. Wow. Steven,
What you
Steve,
trying
what
to
are
get
you
here?
mumbling about?
No, I was just saying that with the back rows, somebody put up a picture on Facebook yesterday with Snoop Dogg looking all mad because somebody had found your back road shortcut. They said when everybody has found your back road, the look on your face when you thinking you getting somewhere when everybody else is following.
Yes.
This is true.
But about people finding your shortcut.
Yeah, we don't let. I won't share my shortcut. It's secret.
Yeah, what way you come?
Wow.
I may not be my direction.
It's all good.
So, Stevens, give us some good news about the stock market. We only want to hear good news, right? And every news is good news to us.
Today, then, I mean, the stock market is up. The Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P is all up today, folks, which is a positive thing for those who have been hammering away at investing and letting that money sit. It is up. So that's the good news on that front. And we always talk about the mortgage and savings industry, mortgage industry. The 30-year fixed is up, unfortunately, from last week. This is the bad news. It's up from 3.94 to 4.03%. And the 15-year fix is up to 3.16 from 3.05 last week. And the 30-year jumbo is up. So things are rising and rising and rising, folks. And that's kind of what's been going on. I did see something this morning that on a sadder front, I don't know if you guys heard about in the entertainment where Suge Knight, the former rap impresario who had Death Row Records, was recently arrested for supposedly attempted murder. And this is kind of crazy, but it's just about money, because right now the wife of the victim is suing not only Suge Knight, but she's also suing Universal Records, Dr. Dre, and Ice Cube for the wrongful death.
Ice Cube.
It was a couple in there, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Ice Cube for wrongful death. And it's funny how lawyers come up with lawsuits, because the accident happened, and this is going to be for multi-millions of dollars, folks. But it's funny that how does lawyers come up with these lawsuits? Because we understand she's suing Suge Knight, but what does Universal Records have to do with it? What does Ice Cube and they didn't drive the car. They didn't have anything with the car or him being on set. So I'm just trying to figure out, how does the lawyer file this type of lawsuit?
They're probably figuring out how to use that jointly and severally.
Exactly.
Yes,
clause in there, so that
Because
they can get whoever got the money.
The money,
That's
yes,
who they
exactly.
want. They don't really
Right.
care who's
Anything joint.
responsible, just who has the money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's amazing how they do stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I mean, that part of it, I don't know how you. Ice Cube sitting somewhere at the house that night, probably watching a movie. Are we done yet?
One of them, 1, 2, 3, somebody.
Hey, but depending on how that contract written,
Anyway,
you need to get him
that's
too.
kind of some of the financial news and entertainment news at the same time this morning. We always talk about money. I'm like, how in the world are you being sued and you ain't had nothing to do with that accident?
Wow. Well, it's all opportunity, right? Money's opportunity. And especially lawyers who deal in lawsuits. Hey, that's opportunity. Hey.
Yeah, it's about the responsible party and finding out who has the money. That's what they want.
That's exactly so. Exactly so. Well, again, this is dollars, not cents. And look, when it doesn't make sense, we talk about it. And hopefully you won't make the same mistakes. How can you be, again, it's really sad sometimes, you got so much money and just you let a lot of opportunities go by, and, you basically can ruin your life. And I'll say, money doesn't make a person. Money does not make a person. You make money. And what does that mean? Is that if you don't... Go ahead, brother.
I also think that it's something that for us entrepreneurs to take into consideration when you are having alliances with folks out there. You better make sure their business is correct. And I think that's the warning from this particular article. You better make sure your alliances are corrected and that the folks that you're doing business with are not doing something that can cause you and your business problems.
Absolutely.
I agree 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So, you know what? We're just so excited about this show today. First and foremost, again, let me formally introduce our guest today, Lisa Santiago. And She is a dream builder. And you know what? I met Lisa, what is it, about a year ago, Lisa?
Yeah, maybe a little bit more than that, actually.
Wow. And, it's so funny because just how things really come together. We joined in a financial education program, of course, called Icon of Success. And we've been working together. And, again, you basically launched out and started with and tell us, I'll let you tell us the story, right? You're a certified master trainer. Okay, and it says here that you're committed to the expansion of entrepreneurship in the community. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started.
Absolutely. I've always believed that we have a responsibility for our own success. So many of us have different upbringings, different backgrounds, different certifications and qualifications, and a lot of times we use those as excuses for why we can't get where we want to be.
Wow.
So there's no excuses, right? So we create our own reality. I actually got that from Anthony Danino, creating our own reality. But in and of itself, empowering myself and others to success comes from entrepreneurship. Nobody can fire you from your own business. Nobody can pre-qualify you for your own business. You are in control of your destiny. And then because you are in control, you're empowered. And because of what I learned over the years, financial education, business education, project management background, all of those things, I realized that so many of us have a special gift or service, but we don't know how to package it and turn it into a business. And if we just had that piece to turn it into a business, then we wouldn't have to be held to a job that we didn't like, that we wouldn't have to be tied to a company that wasn't respecting us.
Right.
But we're giving them the best of us, because a lot of times the company is paying you for what they're paying for, right? They're paying you, let's say administrative, they're paying you for that. But you got a special gift and something else that you add every day, because it's just in you. You can't hold it back.
That's
you wish
true.
you could,
That's true.
but they're not paying for that.
Wow.
Also
You know,
Do you mean we're not getting paid for our value?
we're not getting paid
And
for our
that's what I
value.
thought about, yes.
Absolutely. And so with Women Empowerment Networks and Business Club, I am in a position now to empower entrepreneurs to connect with the resources that they need to become successful. Right.
Yes.
Because the part of the proposition that you bring, the value proposition that you bring, is your special gift. But you might not have all the pieces to make that into a business.
Right.
By getting connected with the right coach, the right marketing, the right promotion, the right reresources at affordable rates, because we're starting out. When you're starting out, you got more time than money. I'm just saying.
That's right.
I'm
That's
just saying. And connecting with people who share your vision.
Yes.
It enables us to become part of this 83% of the United States population, which is small business owners, which is managing to hold up the economy on their shoulders, right? But we can't do it successfully if we don't have the right alliances. Speaking of, like Stephen said, the right alliances, having the right alliances, the right people in your corner.
Absolutely.
And that's so important. And it's one thing that I read in your bio. It says you cannot leave your job to your children.
Absolutely.
I
like that.
I like that too.
Of course not. You can't.
You can become as successful as you want.
Yes.
You can get as many promotions and as many bonuses and as many whatever else that you want. But at the end of the day, when you either receive your walking papers,
No, they escort you at the
they escort you out.
Yeah, they escort you out now.
Right. Or if you die at your desk, either way, that's the end of it. Your children don't get your severance package. They don't get to carry on the name of your company, only if your name is on that door.
Right.
Wow.
Your name is on that marquee. So if you want to leave a legacy, you got to own something.
Wow, and that's incredible, because a lot of people think, I work here, and it used to be a point in time in life when I remember even in Detroit where you had the factories and the parents said, oh, well, you're going to work at the Ford factory or the GM factory.
Really?
Yes, that's how they used to position their children.
Yes.
And that's no more. Even like it says, today, they have to go out and find their own. These companies are exporting jobs all over the world, and again, I have no problem with that in the sense that, hey, you know what? If they can find a labor where they need to, Sometimes it's necessary. We can outsource certain things, but
There's nothing wrong with a global economy.
that's
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
Here's the key though. If you are waiting on somebody to give you a job or to put you in position,
Wait on it.
yeah, exactly. Sing it, girl.
Wait on it. Wait on it.
I shouldn't even.
It's on the way.
But that is so serious, and you can take again going back to our decisions create our reality, right? If you sit back and gripe about why they outsourced your job versus recreating yourself,
Preach it.
then you have a choice between sitting on the side of the bed or taking the world by storm.
Wow, and that's very, very powerful. Now it says here that you are a public speaker. What does that mean? What are you doing?
It means that I go outside of my bathroom sometimes and I actually talk.
Well, we hope you do that, right?
So I talk in my shower and then I also talk in my living room.
Wow. Okay.
No, actually, I have done keynotes at some of the colleges, their culmination and graduation ceremonies. I definitely do lots of public speaking as it relates to encouraging our youth. Work with lots of programs locally here in Charlotte to just let people know that your success is predetermined. And whether you succeed or fail is determined only by you.
Wow.
There's nobody else that can decide that for you. And by sharing that with the colleges, the students that are on the verge of graduating, I have been asked to come back to CPCC several times, just helping them to understand, look, this is just the first step.
Yes.
You can be educated to go become a part of the educated slave labor. Did I say that?
Did you say that loud?
I didn't really mean to say that.
You should say it again.
But you can be a part of the educated slave labor force and work for someone else who will tell you when you can come, when you can go, when you can get up, when you can sit down, when you can start, when you can finish. Oh, and when you, by the way, can go home and don't come back. Or you can use that education, partner it with the gift that is in you, the solution that you bring to the universe, and create a business that will empower you and leave a legacy for your family.
Oh, that's great.
See,
The solution that you bring to the universe, I like that. That's a solution because we all have gifts that we've been given. And I know the good word says our gifts will make room.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So we need to understand that. But too many people get ideas and the idea sits there. And I heard a real famous person said, it's more than just having a dream. And I think it might even been Dr. Bill Cosby. And, he said, he had a dream, but then he woke up.
Yeah.
He woke up and he did something about that dream.
Right.
wow.
Well, I mean, if you want to go to preaching, faith without works is who?
Dead. Got him.
The Facebook show today.
Hey man, you gotta stay with the times
See how we
too.
were just in harmony there?
Yeah, absolutely, because the truth is the truth.
It is.
It is. It is the truth.
The truth is like math. It don't change.
It doesn't.
That
change.
does, and you know what? And you just hit the
nail.
nail on the head, right? Because with math, knowing numbers and being able to understand numbers don't change. Numbers are consistent. I tell people all the time, a lot of times we make these educated guesses about where we're going in life, what we're doing. But life is a life of numbers. From the time you're born, they give you a number. They tell you 0 years old, you're 1 day old, 2 days old, 5 minutes old. And guess what? They even give you a weight. You're so much pounds, right?
They could take that one back. That number I'm not so tied to. But
I think the calculations are right.
I think there needs to be some recalibration.
How do they determine?
Hey, Anthony, you bring up a good point, though, because I had a conversation yesterday with a company that I was recruiting because they want to sell the whole, we don't talk about it on the show, but the whole telemedicine industry and how that's exploding. And I have a company they're an HR company, but they sell insurance. And I told the lady, I said, it's as simple as numbers. I said, I don't have to make this up. I said, if you've got 1,000 customers and they pay $10 a month, that's $10,000. I said, and if you get 20%, that's $2,000 every month coming to you while you sleep.
Yep, that is the truth. And, you know, a lot of times people are, and again, you're looking at simple things. Sometimes we can overlook the simple things because we think it's so much sales into it as well. But you're right. It's all about the numbers. You know, when you're working with your business, you have to understand numbers. I will tell anybody, if you can't count at least from 1 to 10, you need to have somebody who can count in your business.
That's a good point, because I don't count, Anthony. I don't count. I don't count at all. I count. Here's how I count. How many shoes can I buy?
And association.
So, but for me, because I realized that I had to align myself with a partner that knows how to manage the finances and that knows how to structure and also put me on a budget. But good luck with that. But that's part of making the right alliances, right? Because there are parts that I bring to the table that he doesn't have. And so together we make up the whole structure that allows our business to succeed.
So, and you know, and that's really important. And again, finding the right partnerships is also critical.
Absolutely.
A lot of times people get, and we talk about this on the show too, and one of our previous guests, Dr. Melton, really enlightened us on, you know, the factor that a lot of times we say, you know, we don't want to hang around broke people, right? But we really don't want to hang around folks who don't understand about money and about, you know, the ones that are going to push us. So, Lisa, if you're a spendthrift, I might not want to hang around you. But you
It depends on when.
It depends, right? We go to the mall, right?
And I have learned to only spend when I'm allocated. So I'm under control.
You're under control, right?
I'm in recovery.
Do we have an what is that? Money?
Money Anonymous.
Right, what is that? Money Anonymous?
Anonymous.
Ma.
You need a mom.
I need a mom meeting.
But you know, how did you get started in business? And of course, you hail from that great city where we don't want to live in New York.
But my family's there.
Your family's there, right?
My family's still there, actually. My family's still there in the Bronx. So how did I get started?
Yes. How did you get started in business? What was your childhood like? What really just
we're not
pushed
going
you
to
in?
have today.
We will leave that.
Today. It's a long show. That's a whole different show. But for my personal business proposition, it has always been promoting other businesses.
Okay.
So my first job, if you will, I was probably 2 or 3 years old, and there was a 5-year-old who had a lemonade stand that nobody was buying their lemonade.
Okay.
So I just was like, this is really good lemonade. You should buy the lemonade. And she would keep me in lemonade the whole day. Like, I didn't have to pay for my lemonade.
I guarantee when you got back home, they're like, well, that's sugar.
But in all honesty, I think I learned early on that by promoting others, go-givers get more. By sharing what I have, which is my big mouth, you know, and encouraging and uplifting other people. Because, there was a couple of times, and I remember this, there was a couple of times she was like, oh, nobody's going to buy my stuff, and I'm going to close it down or whatever. And, she was a little girl. But just by saying, no, it's really good lemonade. It's really good lemonade. And it's so funny how a little word can become the wind beneath your wings and let you keep going in your business.
Yes.
So I guess I've been marketing since I could walk.
Wow.
Hey, that's good.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. And you know, that's really, strange because I and Monica talk about this. There's so many things in the past that, people have forgotten the simple things. Even like a lemonade stand or kids going out to mow the lawn.
Yes.
And a lot of people, small businesses. My mom used to threaten me. She used to threaten me.
Back when it was legal to threaten your children.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It was okay.
She used to tell me that she'll put me at the side of the road to sell some nuts. Not those nuts.
Wow.
But she used to, yes, they used to roast the peanuts, and they used to have these little paper bags.
Yeah.
We used to sell them at the side. My mom used to make. My mama was. I learned my entrepreneurship really from my mother.
Yeah.
She was in everything. She used to sew. She used to bake cakes. She used to cook food. She used to make some delicious roti. She don't know how to make them anymore, but it's amazing though that today young people are really not really. I was showing in fact, Monica, you were instrumental last night. You tagged me in a Facebook with the Shark Tank.
Oh yeah, that was great, wasn't it?
That was amazing. Well, I showed my son because he's an artist, and this guy came up with, the simplest, dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. He said it was the dumbest thing you would ever see. Exactly. But it is the smartest thing. All he created was a service where he will draw a cat.
Not that great either.
Not that great.
I said it was like a doodle.
It was a doodle.
It was a doodle.
He did it in the bathroom.
Yes, I love it. So he's doodling in the bathroom.
Yes.
Doodling in the bathroom.
I'd be scared. What are you doing doodling cats in the bathroom? I don't know. No. But here's the key is that Mark Cuban invested $25,000, of course, for 33% of that business.
Yeah.
And of course, today, and in fact, I reached out to him because I want him a guest on the show. But here's the key, though, is that he actually created something that would be dumb to us and made money doing it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
How crazy is that?
Well, there's been dumb things making money for. Look at that Pet Rock.
But that's what he compared it to.
Right.
That's what he compared. He said, "I want to be the next Pet Rock."
Absolutely.
I told you that's what I sent my niece for her to see that anything is possible. Because when she was younger, I had her doing selling candy as well in school.
Well,
that's like the first thing.
I used to sell, and growing up in the Bronx, I used to sell the clippings. My great grandmother used to trim back her plants, and I would collect the clippings, the leaves, and I would go door to door to door and sell the clippings of her plants so that people could re-put them in water and start a new plant.
Oh my goodness.
7 years old.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
And got many babysitting jobs off of that. Because you open the door. Now you got the door open. Upsell.
Yes.
You have kids. They're beautiful.
Yes.
You need somebody to watch while you grow your plants.
I know it's only 3, but I can watch it.
This was actually 7. At 7. I was 7 or 8. I remember going door to door to door. I never was a paper girl. We used to have paper boys in our building. I never sold newspaper, but I sold things that didn't require any investment.
Yes.
So, to collect the clippings from my grandmother's plants.
That makes sense, though. Yep. A lot of people, we were saying how people are not going back to the simple things. And I talk about my niece a lot because a lot of what I did, she does now. And my sister would call me and say, "This is your kid," But the thing is, one example she gave me was she said when I was in 5th grade, I was sitting there, a kid would come to school and, I don't know, they call it sugar, like sugar. It would mix with mixed with Kool-Aid or something like Pixie Sticks or so.
Pixie Sticks.
Yeah, so she said a kid would come in and he used to make his own, but when he would get there, other kids would want some, so they would hold their hand out and then he would give it to them. So she said, I'm noticing that every day they did this. So she said, I know I got Kool-Aid and sugar at the house.
Right.
So she said, he's not selling it, so she decided to make her own and came to school. She didn't want it, but she would sell it.
Yes.
And I'm looking, I said, what made you think about doing that? She was like, I don't know.
Capitalizing on the idea.
Yeah. She was like, I just noticed he didn't. Exactly.
But we need to teach entrepreneurship. When we teach entrepreneurship, and that's what WEN is having, actually, the Little WEN contest that's coming up. We are actually going to be taking registrations for it on June the 11th and June the 16th, where the young entrepreneurs will share their value proposition, so the solution that they bring, whatever their idea is, and then we'll connect them with coaches that will help them to develop their idea into a business. And they'll get the opportunity to pitch it. They'll get the opportunity to get to the nationals. There's a National Youth Empowerment Expo that's going to be here in September.
Okay.
And the winner will receive a full startup entrepreneurial package. They'll get a website, a brand. They'll get a coach. Absolutely. They'll be getting lots and lots and lots of support from other entrepreneurs that want to say, hey, I wish I had started when I was 20. So the contest is for 25 and under. I wish I had somebody who had already done this help me.
Yes.
So even what we're asking coaches and other entrepreneurs, you don't have to be the Mark Cuban of your industry already, but what you know is still more than what they know.
Some know.
Yes.
So it's called peer mentoring, right? So would you just go back one level and you share with them what you know, they're not intimidated. I know some of us, I would be intimidated to hang out with Donald Trump as my mentor. I mean, I would want to learn everything that I could from him, right?
Yeah.
But I would feel overwhelmed. But if I were dealing with being able to shadow a peer who was just a few steps ahead of me and had something to share with me or educate me with, then I'll be more than likely to follow in lockstep and give them of whatever it is that I have and be successful.
Well, we're going to get back to our guest today, and we're really excited to have Lisa Santiago. You know what, and Lisa, we were just, as we left off on the break, you brought up some really interesting points about the business world, and we wanted to really find out what as far as you're concerned, and when you see things going on in the business world, and what are some of the things you think small business owners are lacking today?
The number one thing, and I personally did a survey. I was involved in the Charlotte Chamber where they did a survey. Collaborative Ventures did a survey. Everybody did a survey, and I bet you guys will be flabbergasted to know that the number one thing small business owners need is money.
Money? What?
Money.
Really?
Money.
No.
Yeah, exactly. And I really was surprised that we even bothered to take a survey. Like, all the money that was spent to find out that we need money is really ridiculous. But
come back around in circle
they say, by the way, so I need some, money.
Money.
Right. And understanding how to utilize money, because so often small business, how to get money, because so often small businesses start out with their business idea or value proposition, and they self-fund.
Yes. Yes, that's what we do.
Self-fund. Then they family fund.
Oh, Lord.
Then they friend fund.
Because they got a business.
And then they get into the NFL. Then they get into the NFL. You know what the NFL is, right?
The NFL.
No friends left.
No friends left. That is one league that many an entrepreneur.
Hold on, what about the NBA?
The NBA?
Nobody around.
I love it. But by educating entrepreneurs to understand how to use OPM. Come on now.
Other people's money.
Other people's money. Whose money?
Other people's money.
Right. Not my money.
Hip hop hooray.
Not your money. Right? Okay. OPP and OPM. I know this. On a whole nother level. But yes, teaching and understanding about OPM, about sweat equity, about the value of stretching your dollar, because sometimes we get a little too flagrant when we do have some money to work with.
Exactly.
That's why even with grants and funding and stuff, they make you spend the money before they give it to you.
Wow.
So that you can show how frugal and how you're going to apply this money.
Right.
Because oftentimes when we have money, when you got $10,000, $20,000 in the pot,
You think it's a lot,
you
right?
think it's a lot.
do. You begin to think
it's a lot.
it's
You
so
go,
much.
you're taking people out to lunch, because this is a business lunch, right? Real talk.
Absolutely.
You're buying the highest quality when, and this is one thing Anthony and I share. Go to the middle of the road.
Yes.
It'll get you what you need, so that you can grow, and then make that investment make some money to buy the next level.
Absolutely.
Right, make that. Don't spend everything that you have to make the money, but allow the money, the money that you have that you're working with make money.
Yes.
Wow. And that's so important, is that you understand it. So, even if you do go out to lunch, make sure that lunch is a productive lunch. You're not just sitting down there just enjoying the meal and there's no work being done.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I believe is in a working lunch. When we go out, you know, we discuss strategy. You know, we really, the whole idea of really an understanding, a lot of these things are tax deductibles.
Yes.
And, you know, part of really understanding, you know, your numbers and tracking your numbers is really understanding how the numbers work for you.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And you said something, you said that, you know, these businesses are lacking money, and we can all attest to that when it comes down to business. But it's what you do with the money when you get it.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's really the life and death of your business, because you see people, they go out and they buy the best furniture, and, you know, their office is laid out, but they don't have any money in the bank left to do the business.
To operate the business.
To
Absolutely.
operate. And that's
You
why
know.
I say get in the middle of the road, get in partnership, be strategic about how you spend your money. Don't get tied into long-term leases and arrangements until you know what your operating capital is really going to be.
And I like that idea. Spend your money before you get it.
Yeah.
I really do, in the sense that, hey, if you don't have a business plan, see, one of the things that most people get into business is because, you know, somebody told them they were good at something, or, you know, they looked at their car, oh, I can do better than they do. And a lot of times people don't see the cost of doing business. They do not see what somebody else is doing. So all they're doing is looking at, well, I could do better. I could give better service than that. Well, you know, have you checked in and made sure that what they're doing is right? You know, for yourself. So, you know, when it comes down to that, when you're advising these young people, I know your passion is for young people, especially young women, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what do you, because I know last week you had a, I believe it was a invention seminar. Tell us a little bit about what that was about.
About the Women's Empowerment Network that we had on last week?
Yes.
So ultimately, we got together with some of the local business owners and gave them an opportunity, female business owners, because WIN is Women Empowerment Networks. And we had a couple of men for WIN, because, you know, men are always good to have around when you need to move something.
Yes, child.
No, we actually have some really great men that are bringing value to the table as well, and giving them the platform to showcase their businesses, giving the coaches an opportunity to share from their knowledge base, giving the young entrepreneurs an opportunity to be taught by someone who has already gone before them, and empowering each one of the women there and men to understand that they're not in competition with each other. There's more than enough business out here for all of us, even when we're in the same industry. And one of the things that I teach within with WIN and with Business Club is that industry alliances strengthen what you are able to bring to the table. So often people that are in the same industry look at each other as if that's their nemesis, right?
Yes.
But even if you both sell insurance, if you're both financial analysts, if you're both whatever, each of you has a particular strength, purpose, or solution that you bring that's unique.
Yes.
And people do business with people that they know,
And they like.
and trust.
That's
So it
true.
doesn't matter if you do exactly the same thing. If I know you but don't like you, I won't trust you. And I won't use you.
And
Right.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So having the symbiotic relationships with others that are in the same industry that may do something that's different enables us to reach further. It allows us to have diversity in our client base, which is what every business owner needs. I'm a member of plenty of BOB, Black-owned business networks and stuff like that. I am African American and Latin American, but I'm also a woman and I'm also an entrepreneur. And I also personally believe that entrepreneurship is almost a subsect of the population in and of itself.
It is.
Regardless of color.
Yes.
And you know, that's true. You know, I want to ask you a question, because this, of course, we're in the insurance business, and one of the things that a lot of small business owners don't take into consideration are a couple of things. And you know, we always, you know, want to make sure that our audience is also learning some, you know, about protection for their business, retirement. These are things that small business owners don't usually take into consideration. when they're starting a business. Go ahead.
They don't think about it because oftentimes they're thinking on how to add to the bottom line, and they don't think about the fact that as a business owner, there's nothing for your family should you leave.
Thank you.
There's nothing.
No.
As a business owner, you are the bread.
Yeah.
You're not just the breadwinner, you're the bread. So you need to put in place foundations that provide for your family while you're growing. You need to be putting aside monies that are growing while you're growing your business so that all of these things can support your family in the untimely situation that if you should die before you reach your million goal, right? What happens to your wife? What happens to your kids?
Yes.
Or what happens to your husband? Or what happens to what happens to your family? And by creating these relationships with those that understand how insurance works and are willing to work with our business owners on their budget.
Absolutely.
And
some good success there.
Oh, definitely. And you see, one of the things that we've been talking about, a lot of people have no idea about. It's called BOE. Anybody knows what that means?
What's BOE?
Business overhead expense.
Absolutely.
Insurance. And what it does is it basically protects the owner. Because you see, a lot of people don't think we're going to get sick. We're just immortal, right? But what I see, and you may have seen this over the year, over the years, is that a business owner gets sick or he gets disabled, and that business can't run. He has to let go all of the employees.
It deteriorates.
Yes. And so a lot of employers don't really think about that. And guys, on this show, we always want tracking your numbers, and this is what we're talking about today. Part of that tracking your numbers is your budget. Okay.
Your P&L.
Your P&L. That's right. Your profit and loss statements. Your balance sheets. You need to know how these things work. Okay. You need to also track your goals and your objectives in your business plan. Okay.
Daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually.
That's right.
All the way on up.
And you need to know the cost of your products.
Yes.
The cost of your service. All these things going. And I think this is why a lot of people are scared about business, because they feel that, but it really is simplified. If you understand the basics, that's right. If you understand the basics, you have to understand the basics to be in business. And I'll tell you why. I won't just put the numbers in somebody else's hand and just say, you go do it, right? Because at some point in time, if you don't understand the numbers and don't want to learn about the numbers, your business will run away from you. People will steal from you.
They sure will.
Okay? So it's really important. So while we get on this, what do you have to, go ahead, Judith.
And don't be afraid of the numbers, actually.
Thank you.
Because once you start getting into the whys and the wherefores of your business, especially if you put together a business plan, there is a particular section that deals totally with profit and loss and deals with projection of income and how you're going to do your expenses. So the numbers, when we say the numbers, it sounds like it's so technical and it's something that you're afraid of, but you'll be surprised. It's all about what it is that you know. It's everything that you know already. How much am I going to put towards marketing? How much am I going to put towards the light bill? How much am I going to pay this person to do this, that, and such? Those are the numbers that you're looking at, which you already look at. It's just a matter of being able to place it in a technical spot where it shows you where your growth is going to be, what you're going to make, and what you need to put aside in order to get to that end point, which is your ROI.
That's exactly
Absolutely.
so.
Return on investment is critical.
Yes.
But understand this, and this is what I see all the time, is that whole talk puts the deer in the headlights look
It does.
on new entrepreneurs or
And it
fledgling entrepreneurs. So they need the balance of both. They need someone to say, look, be amazing, just be fantastic. And
me.
here are some tools that we can give you and will help you. And that's why I say coaching and mentoring is so important, because you see them, you see the lights turn off, you see them go dim, and you see them say, you know what, this is too hard, I'm not going to be able to do it.
Exactly. And for you to go back into and try to revive them again, it sometimes becomes a little bit difficult, because
very
now
daunting.
you're climbing an uphill as opposed to coasting with them downhill.
Absolutely.
So when I talk to young people about business and like that, and I talk about numbers, because my brother talks about numbers to me all the time, then it allows me to say, don't be afraid of the numbers. This is what this number represents, and this is what that number represents, and it begins to unfold to them, and they're saying, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. We don't have to, and then get the accountant. That's your shining armor.
Absolutely.
But just stick close to him or her.
Absolutely.
Well, Lisa, we really enjoyed you on the show. Of course, we're going to have you back on the show again, but just give us a little plug of what you're doing and, how the folks can participate in what you're doing.
So absolutely. If you are already in business, you want to get connected to Business Klub for all of your resources, all of your networking, all of your business affiliations. Go to businessklub.com and join us. We have a meeting throughout the city all week long, 11 clubs locally here in Charlotte, and we're looking for people, business owners that have something special and unique that we can connect them with other business owners that are looking for what they have. In addition to that, if you're a fledgling business owner or a woman entrepreneur, Women Empowerment Networks is where you want to get connected. We want to see you at our next event on June the 20th. It will be another live taping with the opportunity for all of our guests to participate. If you have a young or fledgling entrepreneur that wants to get connected, have them reach out to me at email me at lisa@iamlisasantiago.com so that we can get them on the road to success.
Awesome. Well, Lisa, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today. And of course, like I said, the shows just seem to run so fast. I know there's so many thoughts brimming in your head, and we're going to empty it one day.
Not so.
He said, keep on learning, right? Mm-hmm. So, guys, let's give our final thoughts. Stephen, we're going to start with you.
Just, like Lisa said, just understand your alliances. Get out there and realize that you can partner with people, and together you can accomplish much. And I had to recognize that myself. When you deal with people that may have a certain skill set, you can use that to your advantage and work with them in that particular area and let them be the expert in that, and you handle the other stuff.
Oh, wow. That's good. True statement. Judith L. Bentley. I'm going to leave Monica for last.
I'm just going to say, just piggybacking off of some things that Miss Lisa Santiago said, know your numbers, look at your alliances, make them your resources, and just take over as much as you can.
Take over. Wow.
Take over.
So, Monica, what do you have for us? I know you got something.
Man.
I know you got something powerful. You always got those little acronyms you just throw into it.
Acronyms. I actually got just two things that I wanted to say. If you ask a person, like, what are they good at, what they really know, but really you want to ask yourself, if, at the end of the day, we all think about we're scared of death, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, if God asked you, I know you, but do you know you? Do you know do you honestly know what you are good at? What would you say? Mm-hmm. Because the thing is, when we're talking about numbers here, numbers are pretty much life and death. See, when you have no numbers or no money for marketing, then your marketing is dead, right? So therefore, you got to know your numbers. It's simply is that. Just know your numbers. Bring some life to your business.
Absolutely.
That's what it is, because you don't want to die in your business. Everybody wants to prosper in their business.
Live and
so live.
Wow. Live long and prosper.
Morgan Spot.
Morgan Spot. Oh my God, that was awesome. Some really great shows coming up, guys, that you absolutely do not want to miss. So we thank you for joining us on Dollars Not Cents. Make sure you go to our website, dollarsnotcents.com. Visit us on Twitter and Dollars Not Cents, Facebook, Dollars Not Cents. Folks, we thank you again. Have a great weekend. Have some fun.
Thanks for listening to the Dollars Not Cents radio show with your hosts, Anthony, Stephen, and Monica. Thanks for listening.